Hello everyone, Bertina Amy here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do a DIY Cancer Dragon junk journal page spread too. So here I thought I would take one of my base page spreads, some antique white from Apple Barrel, water it down, and do a wash over my entire base, then let dry. Then once that dried, I repeated the same steps using Dollar Tree's Ceramacode, I think is how you pronounce it, metallic spring waters. I watered that down as well and did a wash. Next, I found this cool dragon image from Canva, and I decided to alter some colors to match my color scheme. I did two of them in two different shades and flipped the image of one of them so that they're facing each other, printed it onto cardstock, and then I cut off some of those white edges. And since I want the dragons to be facing each other, and I actually want these to open up like a folder or like a door, I'm actually going to keep the white edge on the opposite side of where they're facing, if that makes sense. So I just trim off all the other excess white edges. So I take each of them and go ahead and fold them along the edge of the white edge, if that makes sense, or so that we could hide the white towards the back because I'm going to use them as hinges. I repeat that on both of them. Then I rounded the corners on the opposite side of those hinges. And then I take a bone folder to them after I remove my piece that needs to dry, my background piece, and I sharpen that crease even further. I believe that's called burnishing. Then I take one of my Ohuhu markers labeled as Pastel Blue PB7, and I use that to ink the edges on these so-called doors. Then I go ahead and cut off the back end hinges at a diagonal just so that they're not visible behind the doors. And I grab some scrap bit of tea-dyed manuscript and I flip it backwards so that I could see if they will work for the back ends of these doors, because we don't want to be seeing what I originally printed on them because we don't need that. And we want some writing space or something like that, or a plain background. So I go ahead and just take Elmer's glue or some brand or off-brand of that, and I just go ahead and glue that onto the back. Then I decide to take some Deco Art Enchanted Shimmer and add it into my watered down antique white to do a mix and another wash over top this background because there's too many words I can see and I need more coverage. Then I repeat those steps with a blue metallic paint from Dollar Tree because I still wasn't happy with it and I wanted more blue in there anyways, so I do another layer over top that. So here I'm just tearing up some blue and white tissue paper. Then Mod Podging it onto my page spread base. Then watering down some blue metallic paint from Dollar Tree and doing a wash over that. Then taking my antique white wash with added enchanted shimmer and just doing a wash over top that. And repeating it until I like the look. Then trimming off the excess of the paper behind the dragon doors. Then covering the hinges with scrap paper and cutting them out. Next, drawing up clouds on white felt, using the same blue marker from before, and cutting them out. Then inking the edges. Then I trace it onto some scrap cutting mat from Dollar Tree and cut it out twice. And I tried to add some shadow at the bottom of each cloud. Then I go ahead and glue the clouds to become latches for the doors. But for this project, it's better to use hot glue. And I didn't account for the fold in the middle of the page spread, so I decided to trim it down anyways and get rid of the magnets. The cutting mat version is glued to the back. Off camera, I wrote words over clouds and cut them out, then glued them onto my background, then decided to go ahead and glue the first page spread to the second. And here's the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you know that I am currently selling personally designed t-shirts based off of my upcoming book, The Cancer Dragon? Here, I'm unboxing some orders from coworkers who I'm very grateful to for supporting my mission. If you were to ask me honestly, the idea for this logo came from my DIY Cancer Dragon wreath. My husband bought me a shirt once that said, "I kicked cancer's ass," but because of where I work, HR would have had a hissy fit over that, so I decided to design my own. To me, there's something to be proud of in becoming a Cancer Dragon Slayer, and I really hope my journey inspires you. I never planned on designing shirts for this, but as I kept creating and finding ways to express my life story, it just happened. I thought to myself, who else might love a shirt like this? On the back, the sayings are made for slayers, warriors, supporters, and even for honoring lost warriors. These shirts were created with all of you in mind, and I was so happy with the design that I wanted to make it available for anyone who feels connected to this journey. Okay, so here's the cover so far for my upcoming book. The basic gist of it is, I became diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, got pregnant during fertility treatments, refused to abort despite my doctor's warnings that I'd die at birthing my child. For book updates or to support me, scan the code or click the link below. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.